up, guys? Good morning. Welcome to the shop. Let's do something. Specifically this piece of bike. Got the battery charged last night and got my coils yesterday too. So these are replacement coil packs for an SV650 actually. So that's a Hyo GT650R. SV650 is like a distant cousin, I guess, but very similar parts. So what they use is these as upgrades for their coils. So we got some, I think they're like dynatek. What do we got? Yeah, dynatek performance coils. A little bit better than factory, a lot more spark, and yeah, just new. I didn't want to buy used stuff again. So now the issue that I'm having is, having had past tense, it's gone and already fucked an ECU. So I've gone and pulled this plastic off. This didn't happen on the bike. Pulled the plastic off. That's the transistor that runs one of the coils that are on the bike. So essentially it runs one of these. Cooked, actually burnt out the side. You can see this is where it was. Literally burnt and burst out the side. You can see, I think that's like this bit here or something. Maybe the other side. But all of that burning. Now the problem is the way that I wired it. Move this stuff around. How about we'll get the tank off and I'll show you how I got done fucked up. God, that thing's a pain in the ass to take off. Quick release my ass. Quick release my ass. These things are annoying. Anyway. Aerofly coils, brilliant things. Too fucking big. So the current draw and everything's just simply too chonky for these ECUs. I should have been using a driver, what they call a ignition coil driver, which is like a solid state relay to run these with the ECU. I'd been running them straight off the ECU. So the AEM, I had a transistor blowout on that, replaced it. And I also had obviously the different style of transistor in one of these ECUs. You can see there, all that black crap is literally, I had the ECU sitting here, burst, like exploded out the side when the bike ran. It ran for a little bit, not very long, blew the arse end out of the ECU, and here we are today. So I'm gonna take these off. Thankfully I can still use these coil leads, which makes my life a lot easier, and they've got 90s on them too, so we might be able to incorporate that in there. Kind of made this whole stainless bracket, so I'm going to try and reutilize this. Just bolts into the factory points there, so that's good, nice and easy. Probably going to cut these terminals off and put spade terminals on and just run battery power direct from battery through this relay, which is triggered by the OEM loom that used to run to the two coil packs anyway. So that triggers the relay, allows power direct from the battery to these coils, and I guess those coils now. So yeah, let's get these fuckers off, swap them over and start it. Easy as that. Well, pretty straightforward anyway. Damn, look at all that room now. Could almost go back to the OEM pickup points. I'm not taking this positive to mount a freaking coil in there. So yeah, anyway, these type of coils are dumb coils in the sense that they don't have a built-in igniter, so it relied entirely on the ECU. These chunky motherfuckers relied entirely on the ECU to fire, pulling to ground, kinda, yeah, not ideal, kinda killed it. Whereas these little smaller ones, much more suited, better suited to the application. Now I gotta try and fit these onto this bracket, so I'm just gonna play around and work out what to do there. So the swap, it's not rocket science. I'm gonna fit these where the other ones were, basically. Well, not basically, quite literally actually. So that's the mounting points down there. Gonna cock these over on an angle like that, and I'll be able to use these airflow vibration what's it's to. I'm not sure. The camera is focusing properly, but that is pretty much how the layout's going to go. That's perfect because I don't need to modify these. HT leads that'll run there, I'll be able to fit the relay, albeit just off, cockeyed, some other way, maybe even the same fashion. That'll fit. I need to change these two terminals here. So, have a gander at this relay. 220 amp pins are on this relay. So 1, 2, direct from the grid cable goes to the battery, and it's switched by this one here. Yeah, switched by the OEM loom. That's going to be perfect. I just need to change these to spade terminals to suit these. And yeah, she should be good. Drill some shit, bolt some shit together. Yeah. Alright. Done. Progress report. So, it's what, 11 o'clock now. Started this pretty early. Done the coils, are all in. Me being me, saw that I could improve something somewhere, and that was all of these fuel lines. So I've gone and moved the fuel pressure regulator, going back to the original, I don't know what sort you call this. This is like what, analog style fuel pressure gauge. I did have this one here. It's the D1 spec, nothing too fancy, worked alright, but the sensor, obviously the sensor's just crapped out and it was reading 2 bar constantly, so I don't have time for that shit. That can go in the bin. Less wiring. I'm actually going to wire in this old gauge that I have laying around. Give it. Which is a auto gauge, oil pressure gauge, which is probably a little bit more important to have in my face than the fuel pressure. But I'm just going to mount that in the same place, use the same wiring to set that up. I've got another one of these gauge cups. So yeah, we'll chuck that in there just so I can maintain, keep an eye on the old oil pressure as well. And yeah, so we swapped this around. I'm just going through changing the lines as well. I had one of the lines running up over the coils, and now I've got it running down the side there. So that needs to be shortened, and then the feed to the actual fuel pressure regulator needs to be shortened as well. Swap some fittings over, and yeah, so that's the setup now. That's just a quick look. We'll have a better look later, and yeah, start her up hopefully. So I'm just going to continue on with that, get all these fittings and stuff cut down, and yeah, nearly there. she starts. Beautiful, no issues, no fires, all that's good. We do have the obvious oiling issue. Now, in saying that, there is actually not one single restrictor in this oil line either, so it comes from this banjo all the way up dashboard line, all the way to, let's see if you can see it, flip the screen around, another banjo. There's not one single restrictor in line here at all, and kind of makes sense why there's a pool of oil on the floor then, doesn't it? So I'm going to have to pull this line, and I'm just going to TIG weld a well, just essentially one of these. Just going to TIG weld the inside of that and then drill it out with a 1.2mm drill bit, or maybe a 1mm drill bit, and that's essentially all a restrictor is anyway, and that should be good to go. So while I'm doing that, I'm probably I'll install the oil pressure gauge at the same time. Yeah, other than that, guys, like, done. Sweet. It's a little bit loud, but yeah, is what it is. Fuck Karen. Yeah, on to the next things, which is gonna be, let's go through it, I guess. We're gonna finish wiring in the gauges. Gotta plug in the AEM and get that running as well. I just gotta splice into the green wire and get a tack signal. Make sure that's all happy, chuck the laptop on it and see what's going on. Obviously this gauge needs to go in, bike obviously needs a clean. I got my volt gauge and some shrouding to go in there still. Panels and stuff need to be cut and polished and go back on. And yeah, so we'll get into that a little bit later on. And yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hopefully in the next video it will be like riding it, maybe just around the block, quick ride, and getting this oil situation sorted. So yeah, sweet. Catch you on the next one.